All right, so welcome to your stimulus check update. You know what I'm saying? If you subscribe to this community, then welcome back. And if you're not, then consider subscribing today. It's free. All right, so welcome to the stimulus check update channel. You know what I'm saying? The alert channel, the lighthouse alert. Today I want to cover the existing state of the stimulus relief negotiations, the tensions that arise, when these two parties get together, man. It's never been greater, between Nancy Pelosi and her own Democrat party, and the Republican, Agent Collins and the Republican politician, petitions that ride with him, their plans are to present legislation to have Nancy Pelosi, removed, right? Now, if you subscribe to this channel, then I invite you back. And if you're not, then consider subscribing today, right? So now Democrats in the House of Representatives are ending up, being extremely upset with Nancy Pelosi, right? Now, as she guaranteed that they would have an offer they might speak about, back in July before they actually went back to campaign into their own respective home. Much of these representatives have actually gone home to their house, to their home state, and, without a deal, to project either for their own seat or to politic for their own seat or for their presidential prospect. And, they are getting substantial, pushback from the voters, in their district that are stating, you broke what you said, you said you have a deal, I got constituents in my district, and all of that, they asking for like, when's relief come, cause, on one hand, you tell people, their job is ended, they can't work because it's dangerous. But then, for all the many years it took taxes out of their check, now it's time to give them the much needed relief. You're not doing them a favor. You're just actually returning money back that you took, in the years where there were no pandemics. Countless amounts of tax money going into government coffers, and now when the money's needed, you tell that person, hey, it's not safe to go back to work. It's time really now to return that money. Where's the money? It's just like you asking, you saying, okay, you took the money. Now you were supposed to use that for a much needed time. Now that much needed time, such a time as this has come around. Where's the money? Oh, it's gone. What you asking for money for? Because you took it. You took it back then, right? So in fact, Ro Khanna, right, who was a Democrat senator from California, tweeted, individuals in need cannot wait till February, which they trying to say, they gonna wait till February. They gonna leave you out here till February, right? $1.8 trillion is considerable and more than twice Obama's stimulus. So you gotta ask yourself, what is Nancy Pelosi doing? Like, this would be double what Obama used for his stimulus package, So why is she not taking it? You may be asking yourself, I want you to leave in the comments why you think she's not taking it. We're not against any politician here. We're not jumping on them. We're not upset with them. We're not doing anything. We know that there's action that could have been taken. We're going to deal with this thing objective. If you're in this community, the thing is, don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? Just observe, look at what's going, and let's discuss what's going, and let's just see if something changes for the better. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see. Don't get mad at anybody. Let's just see, right? So $1.8 trillion, like I was saying, is more than twice Obama's stimulus. It will enable Biden to start with a good infrastructure. Obama won like back in 2000, right? So by doing the right thing on TARP instead of what was expedient, make a deal and put the ball in McConnell's court. Ro Khanna generally stating, listen, $1.8 trillion is plenty to get done what we require. And it's more than double what Obama did. So get an offer done, Pelosi, right? So that's what they're saying. So now Nancy Pelosi sent a letter to her Democrat party, specifying that she wasn't able to bend on this offer. And Trump, just desires to check a check, that when he puts it out, it'll have his name on, right? So she then states that she is defending defending American lives and American income and American democracy by standing strong on that offer, right? So she then said, President Trump's attitude, towards stimulus, has been disgraceful, so how do y'all feel in the comments, but we gonna continue. Let me tell you the full story, why she's actually standing firm. Now, among the greatest contentions right now is Nancy Pelosi's desire $417 billion for state and local governments, while the $1.8 trillion deal just set aside $300 billion for state and city government. Part of that distinction was that in the $1.8 trillion deal, kids would get $1,000 to go towards their stimulus check instead of $500. That money had to come from somewhere. And I believe, based on the remarks that I saw, in the comments the other day, that most of you agree that taxpayer money must return to the taxpayer and not just to more federal government. However, this is one of the most significant contention that we're seeing in the settlement talks right now. Now, Senator Mitch McConnell said that next week, if an offer isn't done, he's talking about this week, if an offer isn't done, that the Senate will push to vote on funds to go out to small companies as they need to prevent a lot more layoffs that might take place because of the delay in stimulus negotiation. So, President Trump then tweeted in regards to Mitch McConnell's recommendation for a standalone bill for services just by tweeting, go big or go home. Essentially what it is thought is that the president is stating, do not do a stimulus deal just for services. Do a big deal, do a $1.8 trillion deal. Now, McConnell then made a dig on Nancy Pelosi and her $2.2 trillion or absolutely nothing stance by saying Republican politicians do not care that absolute nothing is much better than something for working families. The American people need Democrats to stop blocking bipartisan funding and let us replenish the PPP before more Americans lose their jobs needlessly. Pelosi, however, said in a letter to colleagues on Tuesday, considerable change need to be made to fix the Trump proposition deficiency. Previous presidential nominee Andrew Yang tweeted, 82% of Americans are practically every economist agrees that we require a new relief bill weeks ago. Congress, please pass this for the American people. Nancy Pelosi, says yes. Now, this is a big win for countless families who are, hurting today. Even Andrew Yang, who ran for president, is saying, hey, Congress, get this offer done. Hey, Nancy, a vote for this is a vote for countless American families, right? But now, in political news, Republican politician House Representative Doug Collins is putting forward new legislation to have Nancy Pelosi removed as Speaker of the House. And you would think that if they actually get all opposition out the way, that they can actually get this done. But we'll see. If she's in the way and she does have to be removed, then something probably could get done. But he would not have her got rid of as actually, a speaker, but the head speaker of the House is what he wants to get her removed as. But just as her leadership position in the House of Representatives, Speaker Nancy Pelosi's unwillingness to comply with the Constitution integrated, with her current actions, bring into question her own psychological fitness, if she's actually equipped to even just deal with any kind of leadership role at all. Which is why it's vital that, your House of Representatives demand her removal from this line of succession. Basically what he's stating is based upon her behavior with the negotiation, things that he's seen in interviews and manner in which she's actually, comported herself over the last little while. He does not see that she is fit to be Speaker of the House. But we'll see. He also does not think that she needs to be second in line, to be the president if something were to happen with President Trump or Vice President Mike Pence. Now, this is probably coming because of frustration with the stimulus negotiation itself. This is most likely coming from frustrations with Nancy Pelosi saying that it was time to to renovate the 25th change and took into place a group of medical professionals who would determine whether the president was in his right mind to act out, his presidential responsibilities after he got COVID. But, once again, more combating between the parties, more fight, more infighting. You know what I'm saying? But if bipartisan funding could come as a result of all this fighting between the parties, it should happen, right? You leave down in the comments what you think. Now it's unclear whether, this legislation from Agent Collins, is a threat or whether it will get any sort of traction in the House, because she's been there for a long time. Now, numerous people blame Nancy Pelosi for the stall in stimulus settlements. You know what I'm saying? Numerous people blame her as the reason, the actual reason. But, however, they don't always blame the Democratic Party as a whole. In my opinion, both celebrations, or both parties are to blame. This deal ought to have been done months ago. You know what I'm saying? He's not blaming the Democrats. However, he is saying he thinks it's Nancy Pelosi. Now, in other news, lots of cities now cancel Halloween. Children, they're not going to have that holiday. But all right. Now, a lot of you have asked me, is a deal really going to get done? I believe that a deal is going to get done. I just want the deal done now. However, every day is a new day. Therefore, that's why I continue to bring you these new developments. So right now, as I see it, there are 3 offers on the table. The problem solvers proposition of $1.8 trillion, and the $2.2 trillion deal that Nancy Pelosi keep putting up, that's what's on the table. You know what I'm saying? So as I understand more, I'll share more with you. Anyway, if nothing else, I just want to advise you out there, I'm saying that, you're a winner if you listen to this. Just like I say, man, if you listen to this, woman, if you listen to this, just know that you're a winner regardless to what's happening with all these negotiations. You know what I'm saying? I value you in my community. Thanks for subscribing. You know what I'm saying? And as I understand more, I'll share more with you. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, so in this channel, I know you tuned in because you want to know one thing. You want to know, through the midst of all this COVID, through the midst of jobs shutting down, through the midst of economy just coming to a halt, everybody inside, you want to know, where is the money? Where's the money to the people? For years, taxpayer money is taken out of your check. If you're a working person, I'm a working person. You're a working person. You probably own a business. You're an entrepreneur. You're just in the national economy. You want to know one thing. Through the midst of all this stuff shutting down, where is the money? You want to follow the money. If you're looking for a channel that's going to keep their eye on the ball, the money ball, you want to know where the money to the people, to the American people is. Not the money to states and local governments, but the money to the people. If you're looking for where the money to the people is, then you found the right channel. The Stimulus Check Lighthouse Alert community. That's right. Come on in. We're going to be accurate. We're not clickbaiting. We're telling you exactly where the money is because we're following it, and we're going to update you every day. All right. So I value you. If you're listening to this, I value you. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for subscribing. Now, every part of the country is simply seeing different things going on right now. So you got something happening in the South that's totally opposite of what's happening in the North on the East Coast. How y'all going? You know what I'm saying? Leave in the comments what your city's doing, what your state's doing. Anyhow, I wish to remind you that if you're listening to this, man, no matter what's happening in your state, and no matter what's happening in the country, no matter, all these political parties, fighting and bickering, you know what I'm saying? We looking like, man, can't y'all just get together, just come together and just do a deal? Forget whatever. I know you're looking at that, but I just want you to know, man, that you're a winner. You know what I'm saying? Woman, you're a winner. If you're listening to this, ensure to take a look at, the newest video that I released the other day, you know what I'm saying? And, I was talking about the book, Think and Grow Rich, and how it affected, my life, how it helped me view some things to just know that I'm a winner. You know what I'm saying? throughout some of the hardest times, financial times. You know, it was a book that kind of showed me how to just continue. You know what I'm saying? I value you if you're listening to this. I value you. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for subscribing to the community. And I'll see you in the next video.